Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good night, whatever it is, whatever time zone you in. It's pretty late here where I'm at. Um, I'm fixing to make some donuts. The weather is bad out here. Everybody's still up watching TV, and so I'm gonna make my grandsons some donuts. Now this process is really, 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 really messy, guys. So I have an apron on right now. Get you where we can get some light in the building. So how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Miss D in the building with you guys again on tonight. Tonight we're doing donuts, like I said. Now, um, for this recipe, I'm gonna use a very, very simple donut recipe, guys, and I'm gonna share it with you. Okay? Um, I wasn't really prepared to do this. I just decided to do this. But we're going to wing it. We're going to make it do what it do, okay? So I need to see if I have um, some vanilla extract. No rush, no rush, guys. No rush at all today. I'm just in the kitchen making donuts. Like I said, I'm fixing to make some donuts. So here we go. Oops. See, I told you guys this was very, very messy. I'm getting flour all over myself already. Go ahead on and shake this off. Now I have every kind of extract but vanilla. How you like that? So guess what? We're gonna have to exclude the vanilla, okay? So we're gonna still go ahead and make those donuts, guys. For this recipe, what you're going to need is, um, like I said, this is the the easiest donut recipe that I know how to make. Um, so what you're gonna need is you're gonna have dry ingredients and you're gonna have wet ingredients, right? So for your wet ingredients, you're gonna have 1 cup of milk and let's see what else. You're gonna have 6 tablespoons of butter or margarine and 2 eggs. Okay. Now the first thing we want to do is with the milk. We're gonna start with the wet ingredient first. Okay. We're gonna get that out the way. You're gonna get 1 cup of milk, and you're gonna add 2 packs of active dry yeast to that milk. I already have that milk in a cup, so I'm gonna go ahead on and add 2 packs of active dry yeast to that milk. Okay. Let's see. Go ahead on. Yeah, guys, I'm all full of flour already. Let me sit down. I need to see if you guys can be able to see what I'm doing right here. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead on and push it back like this. All right? All right. So um, we have 1 cup of milk. I'm gonna go ahead on and add the yeast to this milk. Like I said, for the wet ingredients, you're gonna use 1 cup of milk, okay? But before I do that, I really need to put this milk in the microwave so that it can heat up. We want that milk warm so it can activate that yeast. So let me put this and we don't want to overheat it. Okay, you just want it warm, a little bit above room temperature. So I'm gonna put it in the oven, in the microwave for 30 seconds. And in the meantime, I'm gonna get some of that flour off of my apron. That's better. I knew I'd make a mess, guys. That's why I put the apron on. Yeah, I knew that. So I have so much stuff here. Don't worry about it, guys. Just give me time. Just give me time. This is a video, so we got time, right? I want to be able to flavor. Since I don't have vanilla extract, I'm going to go ahead on and use a little bit, about a teaspoon of nutmeg, okay? Because I want my donuts to have some type of flavoring in it, right? It doesn't have to be vanilla extract. So yeah, I think the nutmeg will do us just fine. So let me get that milk. We're gonna start off with the the wet ingredients first. I'm gonna let it go for a few more seconds. All right, that should be warm enough. So we went 45 seconds. Okay, I put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and then I had to put it back in for 15 more seconds because it wasn't hot enough. So here we have the warm milk. See, I can't see you guys. Yeah. So we have the warm milk right here. We're going to get our dry yeast and we're going to add that to the milk with a teaspoon of sugar. I don't have any sugar, so we're going to add a teaspoon of sugar to that warm milk. And that's going to help activate that yeast. All right. Get these packs open. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm just trying to open this yeast. I can't find my scissors. This is late night cooking with Miss D, so no, we are not prepared. We're just winging this. We just winging it like we wing it, my babies. My cookmates. How y'all doing? How y'all doing out there? All right. So we got this yeast in here. That was 2 packs of dry active yeast, okay? We're gonna stir that in there and put it on the side. We're gonna mix this up good and put it on the side. And you're gonna know that your yeast is ready when it gets kind of like foamy or frothy on top, okay? So we're just gonna give this a quick little mix. Kind of get that yeast incorporated into that milk a little bit. Make sure that sugar is mixed in there good too. And now we're gonna just sit this on the side, okay? And we're gonna start working on our other stuff. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna melt 6 tablespoons of butter or margarine, okay? So we're gonna go ahead on and get us 6 tablespoons of butter. Put it in this little bowl and we're gonna melt that. It's gonna be for our wet ingredients. Whoops. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. So this butter, this margarine needs to be melted, so we're gonna put it in the microwave. Okay. I suggest you just put it in the microwave on defrost because we don't want to get it too hot where we have that butter splashing all over your microwave oven, okay? So we're gonna get this melted. While the margarine is melting, I'm gonna just take a look at that. Oh yeah, it's foaming up really good. All right, so now we have our butter melted. We are going to put that aside. You're gonna measure 4.5 cups of flour, guys. This is for the dry mixture. I already have it in a bowl. So we're measuring 4.5 cups of flour. All-purpose flour. Then you're going to add a half a teaspoon of salt to that. Now be prepared to do some kneading. You're going to knead this for about maybe, I'd say about maybe 4 to 6 minutes until it gets like really stretchy. If that makes sense. You want it to pull apart, pull away from you. So I say about maybe a good 6 minutes. Now I need to mix this up real good. So you have 4.5 cups of flour in here, and we added a half a teaspoon of salt to this flour. We're going to mix it up, and then we're going to put it in aside for a minute. All right. Once we get this mixed, my margarine should be cooled down enough. Put this aside, and I'm going to go ahead on and start. You're going to need 2 eggs. 2 eggs at room temperature. All right. We're going to need 2 eggs and about, I want to say, I don't know, about maybe, I'm going to show you how much sugar we need. It's not much sugar though. I usually just wing this. So I don't really have a measurement for the sugar. I'm just going to pour it out. And I think it's enough. It's 1 teaspoon, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would say that's about a half a cup. Yeah, that might be about a half a cup. We're going to mix that in good. Stir that up as well. Beat it. So we added 2 eggs and 12 teaspoons of sugar into our melted margarine. At this point, we're going to get, oh yeah, that looks amazing. See how this yeast, can you see this? How the yeast activated? That's how you want This, if your yeast doesn't do this, if it doesn't foam up like this, your milk wasn't warm enough. Okay. So again, I know everybody's microwave is different, but I left mine. I let my milk warm up in the microwave for 45 seconds. We're gonna go ahead on and take this mixture and pour it into our melted butter mixture. We're gonna get all of that mixed together. Okay. And from there, we're gonna go ahead and pour it into our flour. All right. So now, at this point, I'm going to have to raise my sleeves up because we're going to take this mixture and pour it into the flour and start making our dough. Okay. Make sure your hands are clean because you're going to need to use them. All right, if you have gloves, you might want to work with the gloves. Okay. So at this point, we're going to take our hands and start getting our dough, kneading our dough, mixing this up really, really well. So this is a little bit dry. I'm going to just go ahead on and add a little bit of water, some warm water. Because we want that dough to be tacky. Okay? All right. Oh, God. And it's tacky. But I need just a little bit more water because my flour is not coming together all the way. I did not sift my flour properly, so that's why this is happening. But it's okay. It's okay. We'll get this done like this here. There we go. We are making homemade donuts this morning, guys. So yeah, it's going to be tacky. But once you get that ball formed up, then you're going to start to kneading, okay? You're going to have to knead this for about, like I said, about 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes, until that dough gets kind of stretchy like. All right? You just want to form a nice ball before we lay it out to knead it. All right. So now since we have this ball here, we're going to go ahead on and flour our work surface. gonna get to kneading, right? So make sure your work surface is clean as well. Just go ahead and wipe this off to make sure I don't have any free radicals on here. Now we're gonna drop this on our work surface and get to kneading, guys. Like I said, we're gonna be doing this for about 5 minutes, okay? So be patient. All right, we need more flour on the surface. We want that dough to pull away from us and it spring back. Then we're gonna let it rise in a very, very warm place for about an hour. Let that yeast activate. All right. So at this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of oil on top of this dough. Okay? And we're gonna work that in there. There we go. See how it's getting stretchy? That's what we want. About 5 minutes, guys. You can't rush this process because kneading it allows for all of that gluten protein to pop up in there. It activates it. I don't have a timer, but I'm just gonna work this until I feel that it's ready. All right. So let's test it. Let's test our ball of dough. This is what it should look like. Okay? But let's just give it the stretch test. We're going to take it and we're going to see if it pulls away. Okay, we need to go a little more because it broke apart. We don't want it to break apart. We want it to be stretchy where it can pull away and we can see through it, if that makes sense. So it's not ready. Keep kneading, guys. Keep kneading. No, we don't want to over knead. But we don't want to, we don't want to under knead it either. So I'm going to just leave it right here for a second. I need to get this bowl ready. Because we're going to need to put that dough in a bowl and cover it up for about 45 minutes to an hour to let that yeast rise, to let the dough rise. And then we're going to take it out, see what it's doing. If it rolls properly, we're going to go ahead on and cut our donuts out. If not, we're going to give it some more time to rise. But it's looking good. Now, I don't have a donut cutter, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to use to cut my donuts out. Let's give it a test. All right, that should be it. So now at this point, we're going to go ahead on and take this ball of dough, put it into a greased bowl, and cover it and let it rise. Beautiful ball of dough. Okay? You're going to cover this with a towel or with plastic, okay? Just take some vegetable oil and get your pan greased really well, just like what I'm doing right here, just like this here. We're going to take our ball of dough and put it in here, and that's going to be for 45 minutes, guys. And so I don't have any more, do I? No, I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this bag right here, place it over here like this here, and we're going to set this in a warm place for 45 minutes. Okay? I'm going to let it rise 45 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead on and give mine a head start, and I'm going to stick it in the oven that I had on warm to boost the rising process. Okay? At this point, we can go ahead on and make our frosting. That's the fun part. That's the really fun part. I'm gonna add a little bit of nutmeg into that frosting so it doesn't have such a bland taste. Okay? This countertop cleaned off, and we're gonna go ahead on and make our frosting for the donuts. That's what we're going to do. I hope everybody's doing okay this evening, this early morning rather. It's early in the AM. It's pouring rain and the house can't sleep. So we up. We still up. Once we make the frosting, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video because I don't want us to have all that dead space in the video. I'm going to go ahead on and pause the video, and then I'll come back to you guys in about 45 minutes, and then we can start cutting our donuts out. Okay. You're going to need some milk and some sugar. Some confectioner sugar. Okay? So I'm using the powdered milk. That's what I'll use to bake with. So we're going to use some powdered milk. Always use powdered milk to bake with. We're going to give that a quick stir. Put it on the side and get a little bowl of our sugar. All right, so I like my frosting thick. So I'm going to use, I'm not measuring, as long as you can see what I'm doing. You can make your frosting as thin or as thick as you'd like to. So because I want mine thick, I'm going to use a good bit of this confectioner sugar. Okay. Put this on the side. And we're going to take and stir in. Let me add the nutmeg now. Just a little bit of nutmeg. So this is an improv, guys. I didn't have any more vanilla extract, so I'm adding a little bit of nutmeg into my confectioner sugar for the frosting. So we're going to add a little bit of milk at a time in here and stir it up. You don't need a whole lot, because remember, this is confectioner sugar. It's whipped up, so you don't need a whole lot of milk for this to make this frosting. And this is about the consistency that I want my frosting, okay? You can make yours thinner if you like, but I like mine thick. But I may need to add just a little bit more to make sure that I have enough frosting for the donuts. All right, guys, as you can see, this is not a channel where you're going to get proper measurements. Watch the video closely so you can know what I've done. If you follow my lead, you're going to come out with good results. But I'm not big on measurements and stuff. Okay, I do this from my head most of the times. Y'all know how it is. But since you have the video and you see what I'm doing, you can do what I'm doing and get the same results. And you know, I still don't think that's going to be enough. So we're going to do this until we get to about a half a bowl. Okay? Because I want to cover the top of those donuts real good with that frosting. There's one more process, guys. Once that dough rises, we have to let that air out of there. Kind of knead it a little bit more before we cut the donuts. And that's going to take another 45 minutes. That's why we're going to stop the video. We're going to put the video on pause and come back for each step. So there we go. This should be enough right here. We want to cover this so it doesn't dry out. Get a little piece of foil paper and place that on top and put this on the side. Very good. Very good. gonna go ahead on and check to see how well my dough is rising. Because like I said, I'm giving it a head start. Oh yeah. It's coming along. She coming along. So we're just gonna let her do what she doing here. Go ahead on and pause you guys for a few minutes, if that is possible. Let me see. Can I pause you guys? I don't know. Hold on just a second. Let me see. Um, can I pause you guys? No, I cannot pause you guys.